What's going on, boxing fans? Joan Williams with The Distance. Please excuse me for right now. I am a bit buzzed right now. I've been drinking. So, anyway, for to do this video, I'm just going to take a sip here. But anyway, I'm going to do a post-fight video for Demarco versus Valero. This fight just ended a few minutes ago. Ended after the 9th round. Valero made Demarco quit on his stool, I guess. But anyway, onto the fight. I scored pretty much every round for Edwin Valero. Edwin Valero, the whole fight was just stalking Demarco. And there was a few elements that really surprised me. The fact that Valero was using his right jab, and his right jab was setting up a lot of his combinations in the fight. And I think that Demarco wasn't really expecting Valero to pretty much work off that right jab. And Demarco was a little too patient in this fight. Demarco, I guess, was expecting Valero's punch output to go down probably like in the second, not necessarily the second, but like the 4th or 5th round. He was probably preparing for his punch output to go down, and Demarco thought that he was going to capitalize on it because Valero hadn't really been too late in fights. Hasn't really been past like the 9th, 10th round. So I think that the corner of Demarco thought that he was going to capitalize in those rounds, but it wasn't the case. Valero, I gave pretty much every round to Edwin Valero because he was setting up his combinations with the right jab, and really every round was just the same thing. Valero coming in, right jab, a few combinations. And pretty much that was it. Demarco was very patient in this fight. He was a little too patient in the fight because and really he was letting Edwin Valero get on the inside against him. And and to be quite honest, when the fact that he was letting Edwin Valero get on the inside, it was very dangerous because I think that Demarco should have kept his distance, should have kept firing off his right jab, his southpaw jab, just keeping the jab in the face of Edwin Valero. Because if he kept his jab in the face of Edwin Valero, who was jabbing and coming in with the hook, he would have it would have offset the hook. But Demarco just kept putting himself in awkward spots, kept himself near the ropes, kept himself pretty much in kind of a danger zone the whole fight. And Valero pretty much capitalized on it. And I think that Edwin Valero did everything right in this fight. He took advantage of the fact that Demarco kind of started late, took advantage of that, and and capitalized on it. I think that was just the perfect fight for Edwin Valero. Really in the lightweight division, can any fighter beat Edwin Valero? Right now, I think that Edwin Valero is the #1 lightweight in the world because I don't think that Juan Manuel Marquez is ever going back down there. But really, the fight I want to see is Valero fight Caceres. I want to see that fight. That's just an overall action-packed fight. But anyway, all 9 rounds of the fight, was just what was all Edwin Valero. It's pretty much the rounds were just carbon copies of each other. Because Valero just kept throwing the right jab and then throwing his combinations. Second round, Demarco did hit him with the elbow, and it just left this nasty gash on the top of his above his right eye. I believe it was above his right eye. Left a real nasty gash above the right eye, and pretty much it just showed the heart of Edwin Valero, but at the same time it showed that in a way that he could cut and he could bruise easily because there was a bruise under his eye as well. That and on top of that, Demarco was kind of effective with the right jab in the early rounds. He actually had Valero's nose bleeding in those early rounds. So Demarco was a bit effective, but Valero was just a ring general the whole fight. He was cutting off the ring. He was using his jab just to cut off the ring, and it was very smart. He actually surprised me. He was slipping shots, but one fundamental flaw that I did see in Edwin Valero was that he did keep his chin in the air. in the fight. He just kept his chin in the air, and he didn't get caught with anything because he kind of gets away with everything because of the power and the speed of him, Valero. The power and the speed, he got away with keeping the chin in the air. But overall, the whole fight was just the same thing. Every round was just a carbon copy of each other. Valero just coming in, using right jab, and then coming in with his combinations, and and Demarco really didn't have any answer to it, and the fact that he just couldn't answer to it, pretty much won Valero the fight. I think that really when you don't prepare for a 12-round fight, this happens. When you're preparing for a fight and you expect something to happen in like the 4th, 5th round, and it doesn't happen the way that you expect it to happen. This happens. So I think that the training regimen was a big problem for Demarco, because they were expecting Valero's punch output to go down in probably the 5th, 6th round, and it didn't. So what happened is when you expect the punch output to go down and it doesn't, you're in for a long night. And there was like 3 rounds left, and Demarco, I guess he knew that he wasn't going to be. There was no game plan to negate Valero's style, and they didn't prepare themselves for it. So So I guess the punishment that Demarco was taking, he just quit after the 9th round. But anyway, overall, it was a really good fight for Valero. He proved himself as the #1 lightweight in the world. I hope to see more from Valero in the near future. But anyway, I gave every round to Edwin Valero. I did predict Demarco to win. Valero got this one. So anyway, that was the distance. Thanks for watching. Peace.